Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 5 must-do yoga poses for a great night's sleep. This is going to be something that's going to allow you to slip right into a comfortable bedtime routine. Takes maybe 5 minutes to go through these 5 poses, holding each movement about a minute. Super easy. I do have some blocks. You can practice, of course, on the floor. Like me, if you would prefer just to crawl into bed and get into bed and do this, you can absolutely do this. You can grab your sleeping pillow, your bed pillow, and just replace the blocks with the pillow. First thing we're going to do is come to child's pose. I like to have the toes touching and my knees wide. This offers some space for my heart and my belly to get through. You might also prefer to have the knees super close together and then letting the belly press onto the thighs. It's totally a preference for your body. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the blocks closer to me. And then I'm just going to spill into child's pose. That's sort of modified because I'm struggling with some hip pain. I don't have the mobility to get into child's pose. But if you're able to, you can simply lay over the pillows and just let your heart kind of melt into the pillows. Mine's a very modified child's pose, just with what's going on in my hip. But you get the idea. Child's pose, super quieting, super calming. If you're able to, pressing the forehead against something. So even in this modified version of child's pose, I have my hands together, fingertips are pressing into each other, and then I'm bringing my both of my thumbs to my third eye area, that between the forehead, between the eyebrows kind of space, and I'm pressing there. So if you're able to get into a full child's pose, making sure that your forehead is either landing on your bed, the floor, a yoga block, maybe your stacked fists, something that applies a little bit of pressure to the forehead, which sends a signal to our brain to stop thinking. Simply stop thinking. So nice. You'll stay, as I said, about a minute or anywhere from 8 to 10 long breath cycles. And then we'll work our way out of child's pose and come on down to our backs. So we only have one pose where we're actually not on our backs. I'm going to bring my blocks with me and then come all the way down onto your back. You can be doing this on a bed or on the floor like me. We're going to come into bridge pose. I like to use blocks. Again, I love to use some supports. So I'm going to lift up my hips, place the block here. If you want a little bit higher bridge and you have that mobility in your hips and in your back, you can have a very high bridge. Okay, so I have 2 blocks stacked up. Notice that the heart is higher than the head here. And we don't typically want to be turning our head a bunch when we're in this position, but go ahead and take a peek at what this shape looks like. If it's too high to have 2 blocks, you can simply lose a block. I'm actually going to keep 2 blocks for a moment or two just to really elevate the heart. And what happens when we have the heart higher than the head? This partial inversion really quiets down the mind. Again, closing the eyes, shutting off any sensory input through the vision, taking long, beautiful breaths. Coming into supported bridge, we get the benefit of the inversion without any muscular engagement. We're not working hard in this pose whatsoever. Palms are turned up, fingers are curled in. It's just a beautiful quieting down position. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use a pillow. I'm going to just lift my hips up enough just to slide one of those blocks away. And now I'm just going to settle here. So I've given my heart a chance to be way higher than my head. I've quieted down. Now I nestle my shoulders down. You can stay here. Okay, this is a beautiful place to be. And now I'm going to offer you the third evening bedtime pose. Legs go up. So you might think, I can't lift my legs up in the air. Sure you can. Wedged onto that pillow or the block, it's very easy to do. So now we're just letting the entire day kind of waterfall is often what this pose is called. Just waterfall back down. Again, staying 8 to 10 or longer breath cycles. If this feels uncomfortable in any way, simply gently, mindfully return the feet to the floor of the bed and come back to bridge pose. Okay, so first position that we like for bedtime is child's pose. The second position is bridge with 1 or 2 blocks, with the option to have a supported shoulder stand. Third pose, I believe, is amazing for evening. Would lift up our hips, remove the blocks. I'm going to need the blocks again, however, or pillows. Bring the soles of your feet to touch and let your knees open like a butterfly, a supine butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. Place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. This position reminds you of the transformation that happens when we're willing, on a minute by minute basis, certainly a daily basis. And then with the hands on the body, not only is it very grounding, calming, gives a sensory input to the body and the mind that you're safe, you're comfortable, you're at ease. But the right hand on the belly indicates this personal power and this amazing sense of self. And the left hand on the heart is a powerful reminder of love. Taking a little longer and deeper breaths, trying to slow down the breath. The closer we get to bedtime, the longer we want to be retaining and emptying the breath and just allowing life to slow down just a little bit. Bringing the knees back up. We're going to come into a series of twists, one for each side. You don't need the blocks or the pillows. Bring the knees in, tee out the arms. You'll drop your knees to the left. Look over your right shoulder. This is a wonderful way to cleanse the body, to detox, to invigorate from the inside out, which prepares the body for a nice sleep or getting the digestion process sort of in motion. Staying on this side, maybe 5 breaths, coming back up, and then dropping over to the right and looking left. If you've had a heavy meal and you feel like that your sleep is going to be interrupted because you're trying to digest, this is a great option to come to help eliminate some of that discomfort. And then after 5 or 6 breaths, you'll bring your knees back up. Here's where it's nice to be on the floor if you're able to be on the floor for our final pose. If you're not able to be on the floor and you're simply on your bed, you will come into this shape where the knees are up, the spine is long. You might even lift your feet, capture behind your knees, and come to a modified half baby. If you're able to be on the floor and you can shimmy close to a wall like me, bringing your legs up the wall, scooting your buns as close as you can, teeing out your arms, and just hanging here. You can also be on the floor next to your bed and just putting your feet up on your bed. You're bending your knees and letting your legs rest there. You could do this with a chair. This one, I would encourage you to stay for at least 10 breaths if counting your breath seems monotonous. Listening to the body and just sort of knowing when you feel that enough time has passed, where you feel that every single step that you took today was returned back, every exchange, every conversation, every moment of your day is being returned to you. We often refer to this as calling back your spirit. Legs up the wall or legs up the bed or half baby. Or going back to that supported shoulder stand with the pillow wedged under your sacrum or a block is a great way to call your spirit back. You just visualize your day from the first moment that your feet hit the floor. Imagine that every step you took, you left a little sparkle, a little star as you meander through the grocery store, through your job, or in your neighborhood on your morning walk. You've left these beautiful sparkles, and now it's time to return them and call them all back. With gratitude, you think about the people that you saw, the ones you know, the ones you don't know, even the people next to you at a stoplight. Perhaps they were there for a reason. And so you acknowledge and bless and release. Acknowledge, bless, and release your day, your interactions. And then very, very gently, you will come out of legs up the wall and you will work your way into a beautiful slumber. So let's just go back. We have child's pose, that spilling over, whether it's using yoga blocks or a pillow to just drape your body over, and then pressing into the third eye space to quiet down the thoughts. And then we flip over to our back and we come into bridge pose, where we have the heart higher than the head, which is where we should all be living every day, but we tend to be up here a lot. We come into supine butterfly to transform, to invite in this process of going to sleep and transforming to something different, better, refined the next day. And then we squeeze out the twists, and then we finish with legs up the wall or half happy, or coming back to that supported shoulder stand with the block or the pillow wedged under the sacrum. Those are my top 5 poses for great sleep. Give them a try and see how you do. All right. Thanks for hanging with me. I'll see you soon.